1, 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so there's a D blues using basically the same kind of forms up and down this way, literally up and down, not up and down this way, for the different chords, for the different, and also using a couple of different chords to fill in between those licks. All right, so let me show you the basic riff. So we're in D. And here's the basic riff. Now, what this comes off of is a D scale, starting on this open D string. Open, second, third, fifth, and then the same thing on the next string. That's a great scale to know, especially for you beginners. It's very simple, 2 strings. And we're using it all up and down on this particular tune. Open, 2, 4, 5, open, 2, 4, 5. That's a whole D scale. Now, we're using a couple of variations. We're using the big word, something called a Mixolydian mode, which is going. We take that last and we drop it to here. So it's 0, 2, 4, 5, sorry, 0, 2, 4, 5, 0, 2, 3, 5. Gives a little bluesier sound. And the other thing we're doing is we're taking that third note and we're coming into it. Instead of doing that, we're going. So it's. So that's the riff. Again, starting on the A string, 5th fret, and then 3rd fret, 2nd, open D string, 3rd fret to 4th fret, and then open. So that followed by the D7th chord. If you don't know a D7th chord, got to go back and study up your chords. I'll show you some of these other ones up the neck, but this is a really basic. 2nd on the top and bottom, 3rd fret on the A string. And then the next chord is a G. So the G, we're going to take that same riff that we just did and move it over starting on the 5th fret of the D string. Same fingering exactly. All right, so D string 5th, 3rd, 2nd, open G, 3 to 4, back to open G. And then I'm using this G7th chord. Okay, here's a G chord, and we're adding the 3rd fret on the D string. That's the 7th, that's an F note. All right, and then the 3rd riff is for an A chord, and that's the exact same frets, exact same everything, except we're starting now on the open A string. I'm sorry, open E string, 3rd, 5th fret. You know what I'm trying to say. On the E string, 5th fret. So 5, 5, 3, 2, open A, then 3, 4, back to open A. And then the A7th I'm using is this one. You may know this one. For you beginners, that's a little tougher. This is a very much easier one, which is 6th fret on the low G string, 5th fret on the D string. And then I go back to the D. Okay. The other thing I'm doing is, so I played it through twice. I played the lick, and I play a chord that the lick was from. Okay, so that was a D lick to a D chord. Now I'm going to change the chord voicing, just a different voicing. So I'm going to use that for my D chord. So what is that? 5th fret on the low G, 4th fret on the D string, and 5th fret on the A. Again, if you think about it, here's a C chord, C, C sharp, D, and then we just add that. And you know, there's other ways of playing it. I just like this because you can hit everything, even in a high E string doesn't sound bad. Okay, so all right, and then for the G, what the heck was that? Well, 4th fret low G, 3rd fret D, 5th fret on the A. Okay, and then so it's, and then back to the D, and then the A, it's the same as that G7, and you just move up 2 frets. You can see I kind of went this. Mistake. It sounds okay, but that's what you want. So 6th fret on the low G, and then 5th fret on the D, 7th fret on the A string. That's an A7th chord. And then we're back to. So I'll play it through one more time, slowly yell out what I'm doing. So it's a D blues, D, G, and A is what we're doing. So we start out with D. D7th, right? Now the G. Okay, and then right back to the D. Or, and then the A. There's that A7th, or this A7th, and then okay, so there you go. Don't forget that scale that I started off the lesson with, this D, but you're really gonna go. We have a little bit of an altered scale, what's called a Mixolydian. And then we also flat the 3rd note of the scale. That's what gives it a bluesy tone. All right, good luck, folks.